Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is here, and I am excited for how it continues what was frankly a very good reboot from 2019. But there's going to be stuff that it doesn't say, and that's what we're going to cover right now. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks, 10 things Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 doesn't tell you. Starting off at number 10, is the M4 still busted? And let's talk about the other best guns in the game too. The one thing everybody always wants to know off the bat with a multiplayer shooter: which guns are OP? Now, this is Call of Duty, so it's especially important because there's a lot of guns here and the quality is kind of all over the map with each of them. For an all-arounder, easy answer is the M4. It's a starting gun. It's the one everyone is going to have at least one try at. And this time around, it's incredibly good, actually. The MP5 was the meta in Modern Warfare 2019, but this time around, it's all about the M4. It's an easy one to recommend to beginners because it works well in almost every situation. If you want a gun that's making people really angry right now, go with the SPR. This marksman rifle is a beast in the right hands, especially if those hands are holding a controller. This year, the aim assist for console players is really generous, so a lot of keyboard and mouse players are switching to controller. Like, that's how much the aim assist helps. The SPR can kill with one body shot, so combine that with the aim assist and you've got a really effective weapon. There is a reason people are all running around with this thing right now. SMGs, on the other hand, have for the most part been nerfed, but they can still be pretty effective in close quarters. The MX9, this game's version of the P90, is especially strong in close quarters fights. The damage drop-off on SMGs is totally insane this year, so don't bother trying to shoot from any distance. But close up, incredible. While SMGs have mostly been hurt this year, there's one gun type that has really been buffed. That's the pistols. Instead of taking 6 shots to kill somebody, a lot of pistols, including the start one, can kill with 2 shots at close range. The revolver, called the Basilisk, is particularly powerful even at long ranges. If you really want to enrage people, going akimbo with revolvers with the snake shot ammo, it's just cruel. This thing was a terror in the last Modern Warfare, and it is just as dirty in this game. At number 9 is how to unlock attachments. One of the most confusing changes to weapons in Modern Warfare 2 is how unlocking attachments now works. I was gonna skip this, but there's so many people who are confused and frustrated with the new system, so we decided we would talk about it. In previous entries, attachments for guns were pretty simple. You just leveled up your gun and you unlock stuff for it. In this one, it's more complicated though. Now many attachments are shared between guns, and if you want to unlock them, you have to have a certain rank with that gun, particularly instead. The easiest way to find out what guns you need to rank up and to what level is by opening the gunsmith and then scrolling to the part you want to unlock. You look for the green text under the weapon description, and that'll tell you what weapon you need to rank up to unlock that attachment. A little more convoluted, isn't it? Now, I do think it's meant to encourage players to try out different weapons, but it's confusing for both new and returning players. Certain attachments even require you to rank up weapons in completely different categories. Like, to get certain shotgun attachments, you have to rank up SMGs, and I really just don't understand that. At number 8, while we're on the topic of ranking up weapons, what's the fastest way to do it? So you're going to be forced to rank up weapons that you don't want to use with this new attachment unlock system. So there's some tips that seem to work in terms of ranking them up faster. Probably the easiest mode to rank up weapons in is Invasion. Like, there's a ton of targets, a lot of them are easy to kill bots, and it all counts for weapon ranks, so you're free to go nuts with whatever weapon you want, and you're going to get a good amount of kills no matter what. Another easy way to rank up weapons is to play co-op. Best map for people who just want to get a lot of kills quickly is the defense one, called Defender Mount Zaya. When you just want to rank up and not worry a lot about other players, Defender's the place to do it. At number 7, there's a fairly easy trick for abusing the score streak system too. For new players still getting their feet wet, it can be frustrating how little you get to use the kill streak. Sometimes you just want to drop a cruise missile on everyone, so what gives? Yeah, I mean, is it really so much to ask? Well, there is a trick that you can use to easily earn some streaks. First, go into Kill Streaks menu and switch over to Score Streaks. Then get some decoy grenades and the supply perk and the extra tactical perk so you can carry 3 decoys at once and equipment will recharge. So now you just start chucking decoy grenades. You get 15 points anytime anyone on the enemy team hears them, and if they get killed, you get 115 points for a decoy kill. As long as you play somewhat defensively, you'll be rolling in points in no time and can go buck wild with kill streaks when you want. The trick works best on maps with control points, but the range of hearing for each decoy grenade is so wide that you'll almost always get a few hits no matter where you throw it. If all you want to do is build up your score streak, decoy grenade is a fantastic tool. And number 6, turn off texture streaming if you have low bandwidth. A lot of people complaining about stuttering, like lag and other online performance issues. And this isn't like 100% fix or anything like that, but it can definitely help. If you don't have the fastest internet speeds around, it's probably a good idea to turn off texture streaming. This feature allows the game to download textures on the fly while playing the game, which can make the maps look a little nicer, but if you don't have the network speeds to support downloading and playing at the same time, it can have a pretty negative effect on performance. If you want the smoothest multiplayer experience possible, just turn it off. It'd be nice if they let you pre-download all these files instead of streaming them every time, but at least you could just stop it entirely. I don't know, it's a weird thing to eat up all that bandwidth every time. Why not just store them after the first time? And number 5, bunny hopping has been nerfed. In Modern Warfare 2019, the meta was all about drop shotting, dolphin diving, and bunny hopping. And if you hated all that stuff, I got some pretty good news for you. But if you loved it, maybe not the best news, because it's all been nerfed into oblivion. The new meta is a lot simpler this go around. Pre-aiming was already important, but now it's basically what you've got. ADS speed when exiting a sprint, it's pretty brutal now. You lose a huge amount of acceleration when you jump, and slide canceling is just plain dead, like it doesn't work anymore. Nearly all of the old movement tricks have been killed from the game. That doesn't stop people from trying to do it, especially corner jumping, but it's way less effective. Like, versus somebody who's already pre-aiming, you're just going to lose every single time. And number 4, the trick to getting the gunless achievement. There's a couple campaign achievements that challenge you in the single-player story mode. Probably most of them pretty self-explanatory, but I think there's a few things about the gunless one that should use some clearing up. You earn this achievement by completing the level alone without firing a single shot. That sounds difficult, and it is, but there are a few ways to make it easier. The most important thing is the wording on the achievement. You can still kill enemies, you just can't fire a gun. That means weapons like the throwing knife and, kind of surprisingly, the crossbow don't count. You can use both of these tools and they make getting through the level way easier. The first throwing knife you can get from a safe after going through the door with the dying guy. The clue for the save is on the calendar and the code is 101080. Throwing knife, it is a beast. It's a one-hit kill. You can collect off the dead body every single time, so reuse it as many times as you like. Second safe in the plaza right after leaving the restaurant containing the first one is in the garage, and the code can be found on a nearby computer. The combination is 376080 and has one more throwing knife and a crossbow with 2 bolts. Like the knives, the bolts are a one-hit kill and can be collected again after firing, and they're basically essential for getting through the end of the map without firing a shot. If you get these 2 weapons, then getting the gunless achievement becomes way easier. And number 3, battle rifles do different damage depending on their firing mode. This one I gotta give all the credit to a Reddit user named Tired of Pink, which, let's be serious. If pink is an innuendo, what? If it's just the color, sure, I get it. There's a lot of pink out there. But anyway, this guy put in the work to discover that battle rifles, which are normally pretty effective, actually do different levels of damage depending on if they're fired semi-auto or full auto. So switching between the firing modes doesn't just make you more accurate with a lower fire rate, it actually affects how much damage you're doing. Full auto is noticeably weaker than semi-auto, and actually sometimes goes too far as to take an extra shot just to kill somebody. The 2 most commonly considered good battle rifles, the SO-14 and the TAC, they can kill someone with 3 shots to the torso on full auto, but only 2 on semi-auto. These guns already have a relatively low rate of fire, so that 1 bullet can make a pretty big difference. If you're going to try to main one of these guns, remember to swap between firing modes, because that can make a really big difference. And number 2, a shotgun that shoots like a sniper rifle? Yeah, just switch to an explosive slug shotgun. If you want to start playing dirty, here's how. There's no gun more controversial than a shotgun, and nobody can agree if it's overpowered or underpowered because everyone's working from a different starting point. But if you want something that's feeling pretty overpowered right now, just try this weapon. It's the Bison 800 shotgun with a 12-gauge explosive ammo. It's literally an explosive slug, which combined with the already very, very generous aim assist, it turns your shotgun into a kind of sniper that does splash damage. It can almost feel like cheating at times. Like, it's just wrong to be able to hit people accurately from these kinds of ranges with a shotgun. Yeah, it's a slug, but it just isn't right. And finally, there are some really amazing inspect animations. Like, this is just a fun little thing we thought we'd end on. In-game, you can inspect your weapons by pressing I on the keyboard or by holding left on the D-pad on a controller. And while most of these are just stock animations, but a few of them really get some extra flair. If you've got the revolver, then instead of just looking at the gun, you'll do some fancy pistol spinning tricks, which can look pretty damn cool, especially because the revolver is actually pretty good, so getting kills with it's pretty viable. Another weapon that lets you do fancy stuff is the knife. For players who really like to show off, there's some pretty cool little animations that don't amount to much, but you really look like a badass when you do them. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.